show you. This young man, Michael, I'm going to put you on the spot. This is my 7th grade AVID. I want you to know, Michael was one of my very first AVID students ever, and I'm so proud of him. And so I want, Michael, this is 7th grade. I want you to tell them where you're headed. Obviously, a graduate with honors and cords and scholarships galore. Yes. So tell them all the great stuff that you're going to be doing.
All right. Let's see. First, I'm going to be doing mechanical engineering at USF, a little college, just over yonder.
Just a little college. Just a little college. There you go.
Studying mechanical engineering with a minor in naval sciences. And what that basically means is I'm going to be going into the naval ROTC program. I don't know if you've heard of the JROTC here at Newsom. It's basically like that, but for college kids.
They got JROTC here too.
Yeah, we do. We got a JROTC club here.
Actual class or club?
Club. Yeah, that's new. That's new.
See a club? A JROTC class is like that, but a little bit but for high schoolers, and then picture that for college kids.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
Because you got a scholarship for that.
Yeah, so tell them about your scholarships, Michael. Tell them what you got.
Essentially, I got a 4-year scholarship to the Naval ROTC program, which essentially means that in order to get these scholarships, you need to have what they call scholar, athlete, leader, which means you need to be good with academics, you need to be good with your body, and you need to be good when it comes to leadership positions. And if you have a good enough composite score, in other words, you're a good all-around person, then you get the scholarship. In addition, I've been accepted at Gin Chapel Honors College, which is essentially a higher level of said college, where it might be a little bit more rigorous classes, but it looks good on your resume.
Yes, it does.
It's pretty much like advanced placement, but for college kids.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What is a piece of advice? So Michael essentially is going to college for free. He's getting an extraordinary education at USF and through the Naval Academy because of his hard work, because of his leadership, because of his ROTC, because of his organization, because of his academics. Okay? And I want you to look at everything that he's wearing. You are 4 years from this. You are 8th graders. As far as I'm concerned, you're in 8th grade. All right, you are 4 days away from being 8th graders. That means, because this is my 7th grade, you have 9th grade, you've got to get through 8th grade. Some of you are going to be starting your high school career. Michael was one of those, okay? Now, he's being very modest. He's a brainiac. I always knew it. I knew it from the moment he walked in my door, all right? He's very, 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 very smart, all right? But I want you to know that you can do it, all right? And I wanted him to come in to show you this is your goal, the cords, the honors, everything that he's wearing is your goal. This is what you want to aspire to be when you get into high school. You want the Naval Academy. You want the Navy. You want USF. You want the colleges basically to say, we want you, we're paying you to come here, because you also earned a scholarship at USF.
Presidential.
Yeah.
Presidential.
And Bright Futures.
Guess what? He also, when you talked about Bright Futures, you are looking at a Bright Future Scholar.
Bright Futures is basically, we will pay you to come to college. I think it's to pay for your tuition. So
And a stipend. You get a stipend.
Really?
Yes, you do. You get $300, I think. It's a stipend.
Yes, so he, Bright Futures,
essentially
Presidential Scholarship, and the Navy ROT Scholarship, and in the ROTC program, he gets a monthly. So he gets paid.
So
combine all that together, everything is pretty much getting paid for, and the colleges are still saying, we're going to pay you even more money to come to our classes. Like you are such. They say I'm such a
phenomenal.
I don't mean to zoom out.
No, I'm going to do it.
That they are actually paying me rather than having to pay to go to college. They're paying me to say, come to our college.
Yes.
Represent us.
Yes. This is what you want to aspire. All of you can do it. All of you can do it. Now, Michael, I know that you've got a busy schedule, but what is one piece of advice that I know you've got a little sister there, but to all of the 7th graders here getting ready to embark in 8th grade, what is one piece of advice you would give them for somebody, everything you've been through, everything you've done, all the extraordinary things, and your future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. It's awesome. But I knew it from the moment I met you. I believed him and I knew it. It's Wednesday, my dudes, but it's actually Monday. What is one piece of advice you would give them?
One piece of advice, I can't think of one that will encompass everything, but I will always remember a few things that my dad always said, plus in addition to a couple things that I discovered along the way. The first thing that I discovered is, I was never one that was pigeonholed into a certain characteristic. Like, I was never just the academic kid, or just the ROTC kid, or just the theater kid. I did a little bit of everything. And I would say, like, if you have a passion for something, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you fall into one category that you can't be in another. Like I said, look at me, I'm academics, theater, ROTC, all the other stuff.
Fabulous singer, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so I would say, I'm sure you've heard at TED Talk not too long ago, Reagan's whole thing was go for it. If you have something that you genuinely want to pursue, and you think it's going to be a good idea, go for it. I'm sure there's a whole Stan Lee quote where if you have an idea and you genuinely want to see it succeed, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And then my father always taught me, I know Miss Bradner has 3 things. My father always taught me 4 things. The first one was always be positive. And it essentially just means that you should always carry each day with a positive attitude, right? From what I've heard in the Navy, one of the things they always do is they always make sure that they make their beds. For one, it always ensures that they have at least something done for the day. It always makes sure that they start the day with, hey, I did that.
First accomplishment.
Yeah, and starts the day off positively.
Yes.
So it means they can get something else done. And the third thing is, even if your day went absolutely horribly, at least you come home to a made bed.
That's right. Nice.
Second thing, I don't mean to take too much
No,
time,
you're
but
not. You're fine.
is get excited about your future.
Yes.
I'm sure she has lots to say on this, but your future is bright. I don't know whether somebody has told you or not, or whether you have heard it or not, your future is bright. You're in this classroom, so naturally you possess something that not many students do, and it applies tenfold in high school. There will be a lot of people that you might have your ordinary schmucks and Joe Schmoes that are just kind of getting average grades, but that's not what you're designed for. That's not what you're destined for. You are destined for greatness. I'm sure you can employ a myriad of quotes that says you're destined for greatness. Get excited about your future. And piggybacking off that, number 3.
I'm going to summarize number 2. Don't be a schmuck or a Joe Schmo. I'm summarizing that for you all. I just want you to know. I'm going to summarize that for you.
And outwork everybody. You are in here because you have a bright future, but that does not mean that the future is just handed to you. It was never handed to me. I had to work for it. And I'm sure Ms. Bradner, or Dr. Bradner, has taught you all sorts of principles to help you work towards your future. Nothing in life is ever free. Nothing in life is ever truly free. You either have to pay for it, or you have to work for it. Most of the time, you will have to work for it. You have to work for good grades. You have to work for scholarships. All this stuff that you see here, all these fancy decorations, I had to work for every single one of these.
Yeah.
Like this, I had to get good grades. This, I had to be in honor societies. This one, I had to graduate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be standing here today if I didn't earn this.
That's right.
And the 4th thing is associate yourself with, this is going to be right, people who will get you to where you want to be.
Repeat that out loud.
Associate yourself with people who will get you to where you want to be. Now, like Dr. Brenner said before, there'll be lots of Joe Schmoes and Schmucks you just see in high school. A little bit of a
First.
Now, these people, they might be good friends, but they don't have the success principles that will get you to where you want to be. Now, you guys, I'm sure you're all bright people, so this is a good place to start of people that will get you to where you want to be. I say associate yourself with like-minded people that still have the same success goals in mind. That's actually how I got to where I want to be too. People like Ms. Bradner, people like certain teachers in high school. I'd say Mr. Clark for chemistry, Ms. Emery for English or debate. But debate is actually a really good skill that you can have in high school. Speech and debate. It allows you to have public speaking like I am doing now, and allows you to understand that Ms. Emery always says debate is debate is debate. You will use debate and a lot of these skills at some point in your life. I'm
We
sure
have a
you
speech and debate club
ask.
here too.
Yes,
Awesome.
speech and
Yeah.
debate club here too.
Yep.
These are the 4 things that my dad always taught me, and I always take to heart because these 4 principles have gotten me to where you want to be, or to where I want to be, and hopefully somewhere close to where you want to be. And essentially, I'm sure you can read a myriad of books like Stephen Covey or Sean Covey, or there's a few books that I've read for self-discipline, like if any of you guys go into the military, I read Colonel McCullough. His book was Your Leadership Legacy, and it essentially talks about who you are as a person and what leadership means to you and how that will propel your leadership legacy. And I'm going to close off with a little catchphrase I made myself. I'm sure you'll be excited to hear. It just kind of developed.
Okay.
And I always say, and I've always said this to, I always say, and Miss Dr. Bradman has her, what's the 3 things?
What are the 3 things? You as
Kind,
you as what?
smart,
And you as what?
important.
Especially to who? Yes.
I picked up on this. It actually started when I was signing yearbooks. I was just trying to think of something catchy to say, something memorable, and eventually it kind of clicked as its own
I
little
like it.
thing. It's twofold. Shine brighter than the sun, aim farther than the moon.
Can you say that again?
Shine brighter than the sun, aim farther than the moon. Because
Let me just write that.
if you hold these principles and the principles that Dr. Bradner has taught you, you are destined for bright things. And I'm sure she has numerous phrases that say shine bright, right? Shine bright, superstar.
I can't say it any better than you
100%
just
star
did.
stuff.
Yep.
And it simply says shine brighter than the sun, but also aim farther than the moon. Now, you could also say aim farther than the sun, but where's the wordplay in that?
Yeah, right.
Now, obviously the moon is very far. I've heard the expression shoot for the moon, even if you fail, you'll land among the stars.
Right.
Well, what's stopping you from aiming farther
Yep.
than the moon?
Yep.
It just means that even if you fail, or you'll still land either on the moon or among the stars. And I'd say these 2 things basically summarize in a very fun way sort of these success principles. Shine brighter than the sun, aim farther than the moon. So I'm really glad I could have this opportunity to speak to you guys.
Thank you. Awesome. And I'm telling you what, if you do these things, you know, I know it's one thing when you hear it from old people like myself. What do we know? Right? We're up here happy at you all the time. Right? But those 4 things, right? What I want you to know, if you do this, the dreams that you dream will become the reality that you find. And the responsibility is yours. It's up to you. And Michael is a perfect example, and I couldn't ask. You are the only class that has the benefit of seeing Mr. Tucker come in and talk to you. No other classes today saw him. Just so happened it was your class. And I want you to know, Mr. Tucker, this is one of my best and my brightest.
Really?
So there was a reason that you had to come in and talk to them today. So as you get ready to embark on your 8th grade year, I want you to remember these things. okay? And I want you to remember, it's always one thing when you say it, it's another thing when you hear it for real. This can be you. You could be the one coming back in and talking to my students and basically telling them all about everything you've done. And one thing I will tell you, it is not without hard work. It is not without hard work. That's exactly key. What his dad said is true. All right, it's that work ethic. This is why Dr. Brenner, this is your agenda, this is the organization. These are all the key skills that you're learning. This is how you make it happen. And the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, your future, just like with Michael Tucker, with Michael, he made his future happen. His mom and dad are great, but they didn't do it for him. His sister's fantastic. She didn't do it for him. This is all him.
At some point, it's got to
This
come
is
from within.
everything, that's right. This is everything he did. So, Michael, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Dr. Bradner.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Yes. And go get him, will you?
Aren't
Just
you up for a
knock
TED
the
Talk
top off.
later?
Yes, yes, yes. Come here.